Hi, thanks for joining me for our lesson on circumference and area of circles. We're going to begin with circumference. In our last shapes, like triangles or rectangles, we found the perimeter, which was the distance around the outside. We could find that by adding the sides. A circle is a little bit different, that we don't have straight sides. We can still find the distance around the outside by finding the circumference. There's a formula for circumference. The circumference is 2 times pi times the radius. Another way to rewrite that is pi times diameter. From your last assignment, you should be familiar with pi. Pi is a constant that's represented by this symbol. On your calculator, you should have a pi key, or you can use 3.14. So let's go ahead and find the circumference of this circle. When I look at the circle, I see that I have 7 inches. That's the radius. So I'm going to use this top formula. So in this case, the circumference will be 2 times pi times my radius, which is 7. We're going to need our calculator for this. 2 times, there's my pi key, times 7 equals, now since pi is a never-ending decimal, you're going to get a long number as your answer for the circumference. I do not want you to write that whole thing down. You should round to 1 or 2 decimal places. So in this case, I would have a circumference of 43.98 inches. The units for the circumference will always be the same as the units we are given on the picture. Let's try another one. In this case, notice that I'm given the segment that goes all the way across. That means that I have the diameter. Now, if the diameter is 20, that means that the radius is 10. So I could find the radius and use the first formula, or I can just find diameter times pi. On my calculator, I have pi. And again, you can type in 3.14 if you don't have a pi key, times 20 equals, I'm going to round that to 1 decimal place, which means I could stop at the 8. The 3 keeps it the same. So here I have a circumference of 62.8 feet. I want to show you what would happen if I had selected the top formula. The top formula says circumference is 2 times pi times radius. So let's try that. Hopefully you remember that the radius is from the center out. It's half of the diameter. So that means that in this one, my radius is 10. I can use the formula circumference equals 2 times pi times radius. Or in this case, 2 times pi times 10. 2 times pi times 10. You'll notice it also gets us 62.8. So as long as you remember that the radius is half of the diameter, you're going to get the correct answer using either formula. In some problems, you might not have a picture. In this case, it will be really important to read through carefully so you know what part you're given and what you're asked to find. Beth walked around a circular pool with a diameter of 50 feet. How far did she walk? For lot of people, a picture might be helpful, so you could make your own sketch. So I drew a circle. The diameter is 50 feet. I can draw the diameter on there. And I want to find out how far she walked. Hey, she's walking around the outside. Oh, the distance around the outside, that's circumference. So I'm going to use my circumference formula. You can look back and find the formula. Circumference equals pi times diameter. Pi times 50 feet. We'll want to go ahead again and round this to 1 decimal place. So right now there's a 0 in the tens place. I look 1 to the right. The 7 makes me round up. So Beth walked 157.1 feet. You're now set to finish up your circumference problems. Join me in a bit and we'll tackle area.